Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail.
Yo, my man, why you got on that purse, huh?
Hey, this ain't no purse. I'm the big deals. Don't do that. $100 Patron in the bid at, you heard? Get your money up, not your funny up.
Grr, blah. Mumful Prof, Mumful Podcast. We're in the building. I don't know why. Somehow I started that like it was my video. We lit. I'm in a different location. We out here, man. What we talking about?
We are talking about Lord Jamar and his take on the entire Eminem and Nick Cannon beef. He had a episode of the Yadameen Godcast with, it was Rod Digger's birthday, and he had Gully TV on it, which is, you know, I would say a video basically legend in Gully TV. And they're talking about, you know, the whole Nick Cannon Eminem beef, because we knew that Jamar was going to give his take.
Right.
And the takes that were given on that show just goes back to that whole Jamar's hate for Eminem is it becomes very unreal. It becomes very blinding to the fact where to the point where it starts making his points mean less because you could clearly tell the bias on it.
Right.
You could see where, because they started it basically.
Do you have your
he was
headphones
saying,
on?
Oh, I do. I forgot I had my headphones.
I was like, why does your audio sound like you in a Pringles can?
Yeah, I had my headphones on the whole time.
Yeah. Alright, so keep going.
So, you know, the first thing he says to, not the first thing, but early in the podcast, he says to Gully, points out the fact that Gully TV be getting a lot of backlash from M fans and stuff for his take on Eminem. And then Gully kind of corrected him and said, well, really, I get a lot of ish because of you. He said that to Jamar. So I got a lot of ish because of, really, you defending your points. And then Rod Digger and them started talking about because Rod Digger always defends them.
Yeah,
and
facts.
They started talking about the hierarchy of when M was around Busta, Leaders of the New School. Was it Leaders of the New School or was it Flip Mode? Well, he was around them, and he used to have to sleep on the couch, and that just made Jamar so extra excited when he heard that.
I mean, I don't know, man. For some whatever reason, he's got that weird hatred. It's not even a hatred. It's just like it's like a made up hatred. You know what I mean?
You realize that this nigga Gully said that Nick Cannon had the best verse on those diss tracks? See, that's my point when this Eminem hate starts getting to a point where you're recorrecting on the other side, where I think people like that feel like their blackness is what is on the line, but I feel like they start jeopardizing that just to make Eminem look bad, and to me that's just as foul.
Yeah,
because
it just doesn't even make sense because why? Like, even if I said, all right, I understand where y'all coming from, right? I don't understand the going so hard for, though. That's where it's just like, it's like, bruh, what are you trying to prove? Like,
you would think
there's like 5 people in this world that don't like Eminem. Like, I don't like, what are we talking about? You know.
But besides the fact that if there's a lot of things I don't like, right?
Absolutely.
If I was to, I would be wise enough to start realizing when I start sounding a certain way. How do they not realize as being older, wise people, how do they not realize that Jamar don't realize what he sound like now? I feel like he's more of a tactician than that. Even if we
like
he's saying, the way
everything he does is so much more calculated. But for some reason, when it comes to Eminem, it's like all bets are off, and he's just willing to
emotion.
It's like, nigga, what is wrong with you? Why are you?
Bro, I've never understood. Like, okay, so now I get the whole. I don't want the white person to be the head of a black culture. You're head of hip hop. If that's how you feel, I get that.
That's fine.
But to now say that I don't want that to the point where anything he does is bad and anything he's going against.
And you're willing to literally get on public thing and lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're jeopardizing. That's what I was gonna say. You're still jeopardizing your integrity. Just because now you're doing it so you can get the white guy out of here doesn't make you any more real than say somebody jeopardizing their integrity to say he won. Like, you don't think Nick Cannon raps that well.
But
your ability to hear bars
go ahead.
shouldn't have got worse because it was Eminem. Because all that shows is if you believe that your ability to hear bars has gotten worse. You have to agree to that.
Absolutely. And I just feel like with what you were saying too, the thing that I don't get is that it's like, dog, I don't understand why even if you're like, my thing is like, most people don't go and be like, they ask you who's your favorite rapper of all time, right? They might ask who's the greatest rapper of all time, but most of the time when the greatest rapper of all time comes up, there's a list. So, like, if you're saying out of a list of 10 people, right, and if you don't have Eminem in your top 10, all right. Like, I'm not gonna argue with you because that's how you feel, and you can do what you want, right? But I don't understand, like, it's just, like, weird because, like, I'm all for being pro-black, and I don't like when people do quote unquote culture vulture thing, but I've not got that experience from him. So
well,
it's
at this point, that's why I say Lord Jamar would be more of the culture vulture, because if you sit there and think about it, it's not, maybe culture vulture is not the right word, but you're against the culture right now. You're not on the side of the culture. He thinks he is, but he's literally going against, because at this point, it's not like you're going against somebody. That's why I'm like, why don't you direct this at like G-Eazy or something? I'm not saying G-Eazy's person, but like
but that's what I literally said that. I was like, wait, so you have like a person like, I'm sorry, we could argue about it or not, but I personally feel as if Post Malone is a culture vulture to an extent, right? And I feel like that personally, right? Whether you agree or not doesn't matter. But my thing is I could make valid arguments of why that's the case. Like, I couldn't go through and do that for a person like Eminem. Like, I don't understand that to me, because you got a person who you see multiple times, like, it's not even like a question at this point. Like, dog, this nigga does a song. The song is not as successful. He doubles back and does a song with the rapper. It's a #1 hit in the country. I could argue that that's way more culture vulture tendencies than, and especially going back and saying like, oh, you then like, I just don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You can't choose the most hip hop white person to attack, and your angle is he's not hip hop.
That's the thing. Like, everything that's the thing. Sometimes I start to realize with Eminem is I start to realize that a lot of people that are Eminem fans and a lot of people who are not Eminem for some reason don't listen to what he says. Because it's just like the whole Stan thing. Like, you got the Stan.
You said a lot of people who are Eminem fans and a lot of people who aren't Eminem fans.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna get to what I'm talking about, right?
So everybody,
I guess they don't listen to what no, there's a section of people who listen to Eminem. Like, there's a section of people like me and you, when we listen to Eminem, we're listening to what he's saying. That's why we can literally look at something like Stan and be like, okay, well, when people are standing for Eminem, we know that that's exactly not what Eminem wants. Eminem doesn't agree with that, right? He's told us that, right? Then you got situations where you're like Lord Jamar, where you're trying to say that this person is not, I don't even know, like, what he's trying to say at this point. Like, is he trying to literally argue that Eminem is not a good rapper? Because it's like, nigga.
Bro, and here's the thing I don't understand about Nick or Jamar. It would be one thing if y'all niggas have kept that energy your whole career. Both of them have said Eminem was dope. That's why it's like Jamar, bro. You
Well,
think
Nick
you're on?
Cannon.
He thinks. Hold on,
Wait,
hold
you
on.
talking about
Jamar
Nick
thinks
Cannon or you talking about Gully TV?
Nick Cannon and Jamar.
Okay,
at
yeah.
two different times in their careers have both said Eminem is one of the best lyricists. So here's the thing: is like I think Jamar thinks he's on the side of righteousness. No, you're not, bro. You think you? I know you think you are, because what it enshelled in your head is righteousness, but it's not. Because if you had to contradict yourself as much as you've had, if you have to blatantly lie, if you blatantly had to do, how can you be on the righteous
You're
side?
not.
Like,
You're
you
not.
think
That's
just because he's white that the argument works the same, that argument that you've been taught is work. That doesn't work like
it's
that.
not. That's the thing that I don't. That's why I brought up the whole Post Malone situation, because I'm like, wait, like you're literally actively letting people do this in hip hop now. Like, how could you talk about a person that drops music?
Well, I'm not going to say he's letting, because he said Jamar said Post Malone is a culture vulture.
But my nigga, that's fine. But like, bro, what I'm trying to say is, if you believe that Post Malone is a culture vulture and your gripe is with Eminem, like you miss me, because one of these people legitimately does nothing but that. So I don't understand the concept behind, and it's not even like it's Eminem. It's like, bro, this nigga Eminem he stands for hip hop. That's why I said, like, with the whole listening to thing, because it's like you couldn't be Jamar and have listened to Eminem and don't think he's for hip hop. The same way you couldn't be a stan and not listen to Eminem and realize that that's not what he likes. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I'm starting to get just goofy. Like, I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is he's almost like an opposite stan, where his obsession of hating him is,
Scoot over some.
I say he almost like an opposite stan, because his obsession with hating him now is almost as annoying as people's obsession with
Correct.
Stan's obsession with trying to bend every narrative like he's right is just as annoying as bending every narrative like he's wrong. It's just like, bro, come, like,
yeah, you can't,
people have to be more nuanced than what you're saying. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because it sounds like when he's talking, it sounds like he's either making up whatever he's saying or he's literally never listened to Eminem before. And I'm just like, how can you get that from him, bruh? Because that's not what this nigga does.
Now, I would understand, my bad, but I understand if your argument is Eminem is too hip-hop, and he like a nerd, and he's not making like music that like popping in the clubs, and he a geek, and that argument works way more. But he's using the argument like, this nigga ain't even hip-hop. Don't be rapping that.
Yeah, it's like, what? He's definitely more you than you. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you realize that's the most weird part. That's why I say it's anti-hip-hop, because it's like, if you're successful and you take him down and people like him, you're going to have a harder time. Not Gucci. You are, Jamar. You are. Exactly you. Like, it's not going to be the people. Like, it's going to affect you. He does more music that's like down your lane than it is somebody else's.
100%. 1,000%.
Joyner and M is closer to Joyner. Joyner's closer to Jamar. Like, type music. Like, than you would ever be a 21 Savage, a Gucci Mane.
Right. Absolutely.
Even a 50 Cent.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. That's why I was saying, though, about the whole, like, sometimes I feel like people just don't be listening to this nigga for real. On both ends, you know what I mean? Because, like, I be feeling like, yo, like, there's no way you could have listened to him and ever gathered that. But
and I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of people do some weird, disrespectful ish, but it's like, if Dr. Dre co-signs somebody, if Dr. Dre says this, then he's good. He's hip hop. What else does somebody need? I'm mad confused. Like, this nigga helped write Chronic 2001, but he ain't hip hop though. This nigga, like, what? I don't even. Some of your favorite Dr. Dre songs are Eminem verses. Like, so it's like, what are we talking about? I guess that's weird. But
I don't know, bro. Let us know in the comment section how y'all feeling. I know y'all not feeling Jamar, but let us know how you feel about it. Did you watch it?
Merry Christmas, you dirty, filthy animals.
Facts.
You happy that I did this, by the way.
Grr, bah.